The night was thick with fog as waves crashed against the rocks beneath the Forrester cliffside estate. The moon hung high, casting an eerie silver sheen over the sprawling mansion perched above the Pacific. Inside, all seemed calm, too calm. Steffy Forrester had just returned home after a long day at Forrester Creations, unaware that danger was already inside her sanctuary. She poured herself a glass of wine and called out for Finn, her voice echoing through the marble halls. He appeared moments later, greeting her with a tired smile, but there was something tense in the air, something neither of them could quite name. Until the silence was broken by a click. Not of a door, not of a glass, but of a gun being cocked. Luna stood in the shadow of the arched doorway, hand trembling, but eyes wild with purpose. Her silhouette against the moonlight was almost ghost-like, ethereal, but the weapon in her grasp made the moment very real. Steffy turned slowly, wine glass slipping from her hand and shattering on the tile. Finn stepped in front of her instinctively. "Luna," his voice was low, shocked, full of disbelief. "What are you doing?" "I have to," Luna said. "You don't understand. She ruined everything." It was madness. Steffy's breath caught. The girl she once considered harmless, conflicted, maybe, but harmless, was pointing a gun at her, and there was no way out. The standoff felt like a lifetime compressed into seconds. Finn stretched an arm to shield his wife. "Luna, put it down. This isn't you." But Luna was past reason. Her fingers tightened on the trigger. One twitch, and it would be over. The end of Steffy. The end of their family. The end of everything. Then, out of nowhere, a blur cut through the tension. A body slammed into Luna from the side. The gun flew from her hand, clattering across the floor. She screamed in rage, fought to regain control, but the mysterious figure was already dragging her away from the weapon. Luna scrambled to her feet, panic in her eyes, and fled into the darkness. The figure didn't follow. They turned, looked back at Steffy and Finn just long enough to confirm they were safe, then disappeared into the night without a word. In the aftermath, the house was chaos. Alarms blared. Security rushed in too late. Police sirens echoed in the distance. But the attacker was gone, and so was their savior. By morning, Los Angeles was on fire with the story. Every news station replayed the police footage. Attempted assassination at Forrester Estate, the headlines blared. Social media spun theories like thread in a loom. Was Luna working alone? Why did she want Steffy dead? And who was the shadow who stopped her? Steffy sat in the living room, wrapped in a blanket, but her mind raced faster than any news cycle. She'd seen the figure. A blur, a presence, a savior. But who? Her instincts screamed for answers. She needed to know who had saved her life, why they had vanished instead of staying. Finn begged her to rest, but Steffy was already on the hunt. The police were conducting their own investigation, but Steffy had lived through too many betrayals to wait passively. She made calls, hired private security, questioned the staff, even turned to Ridge and Brooke, seeking any clue from anyone who might know something. Speculation ran wild. Was it Liam? He'd been unusually quiet the past few days, and his complicated history with Steffy gave the theory weight. Liam had always been protective, maybe too much. Had he followed his gut and arrived in time to stop the unthinkable? But Steffy had seen the figures build, the way they moved. It didn't feel like Liam. Then Sheila's name came up. Unthinkable, but not impossible. Sheila had been strangely silent for weeks, no sightings, no threats. Had she been hiding in the shadows, watching, waiting, and then saved her? Could it be guilt? Some twisted form of redemption? Or maybe this was a larger game, and saving Steffy was part of some long con. Steffy couldn't shake the possibility. As much as she hated it, hated Sheila. She couldn't rule her out. Or maybe, just maybe, this wasn't someone from her past at all. A new player? Someone watching from the sidelines, waiting for the right moment to step into the game? Theories multiplied like wildfire. Carter suggested it might have been one of Ridge's old business rivals, finally choosing a side. Zen thought it could be a disgraced ex-employee trying to redeem themselves. Even Hope couldn't help but wonder if Thomas had something to do with it, though he was halfway around the world, and even Thomas couldn't move that fast. Meanwhile, Luna had vanished. Gone without a trace. The police issued a warrant, but there was nothing. No credit cards used. No calls made. It was like she'd vanished into the wind. The girl once caught between two worlds, Lee's expectations and Poppy's secrets, had finally cracked, and the fallout was nuclear. But the mystery deepened. Surveillance footage from the estate showed a flicker, one frame where the intruder turned just enough to reveal a jacket. A patch on the sleeve. Nothing the police could trace directly, but Steffy recognized it. She knew fashion like she knew air, and that patch didn't belong to Liam, or Sheila, or any old flame. It was military surplus. European cut. Custom stitched. That narrowed it down. She combed through photos. Events. Security logs. Military contacts her father once had through international partnerships. Then, finally, a break. A name surfaced. Alexei Volkov. A shadowy figure linked to Ridge's security detail during a fashion expo in Prague. Former intelligence. Off the grid. Untraceable since 2018. Was he in town? Steffy made more calls. No one had answers, but the name sent ripples through private channels. Someone was cleaning up, covering tracks. And the deeper she looked, the clearer it became. Someone wanted Luna dead too. Whoever had saved her didn't just want to protect Steffy. They wanted to eliminate the threat permanently. Why? Who was Luna working for? Finn, meanwhile, wrestled with guilt. He couldn't believe Luna had come that far. He'd trusted her. Treated her like family. But the betrayal cut deep. And the fact that he couldn't protect his wife, again, haunted him. Steffy refused to back down. The answer was out there, and she would find it. Then came the letter. Hand-delivered. No return address. Just a single folded sheet of paper with one sentence written in precise, blocky handwriting. You're safe. For now. But it's not over. No signature. No clue. Just that ominous line. Steffy stared at it for hours. She read it again and again. And then she made a decision. Whoever the silent protector was, they'd risked everything for her. They were watching. That meant they could be reached. She stepped in front of the cameras the next morning, calm and direct. I want to thank the person who saved my life, she said. You know who you are. And I know you're still out there. Please, come forward. I need to know why. The message was broadcast everywhere, but the reply never came. Instead, Luna resurfaced. Barely. A security camera in Tijuana caught her in the background of a hotel lobby. Same face, same wild eyes. But something was different. She wasn't running anymore. She was hunting. For what? For who? Steffy's team scrambled to intercept. But Luna vanished again, leaving behind a cryptic trail, coded texts, deleted burner accounts, GPS pings that led to dead ends. She was circling back. She had unfinished business. Finn doubled the security at the house. Liam offered to stay close, too close maybe. Sheila reappeared, just long enough to deny any involvement with the attack, but her tone was smug. Calculating. She knew more than she said. And then came the second attempt. This time, the gun wasn't pointed at Steffy, but at Kelly. Luna had escalated. She wanted Steffy to feel every ounce of fear, every crack of despair. And once again, it was the silent figure who intervened. No one saw him, only the aftermath. The child safe. The attacker gone. The pattern repeating. Now the city was in full lockdown mode. LAPD formed a task force. The Foresters tightened their circle. And Steffy, caught between gratitude and paranoia, prepared for the next move. Whoever her guardian was, he or she had declared war. And Luna, no longer the confused girl torn by family secrets, had transformed into something darker. She wasn't just a threat. She was a storm. And in the storm, only one truth remained. The game had changed. Permanently. Steffy didn't sleep anymore. Not really. She'd close her eyes, but the images kept coming. Luna in the hallway, gun raised. Kelly crying in the distance. That fleeting figure, a phantom she couldn't name, disarming danger and vanishing like mist. It was war, and she was right in the middle of it. But now she wasn't just surviving. She was preparing. She upgraded the estate's security system with AI facial recognition, 24-hour drones, panic rooms. Zend and RJ offered to take Kelly away to a safe location, but Steffy refused. She wasn't going to run. Not this time. Luna had crossed a line, and there was no turning back. Meanwhile, Ridge flew back from Europe, furious that he'd been kept in the dark for even a moment. He brought with him an old contact, Victor Marsek, a former Interpol liaison who owed Ridge a favor. Marsek knew about Luna. He'd been tracking a network of black market mercenaries operating under a shell company tied to Poppy's former lover, a pharmaceutical tycoon named Adrian Chu. That was the missing link. Adrian had been quietly funding covert psychological trials. Human experimentation. Luna's mother, Poppy, once worked in his lab before their relationship ended under mysterious circumstances. Luna, it turned out, was part of an unregulated neuroenhancement experiment during childhood. Poppy had tried to get her out, but not before damage was done: chemical interference, suppressed memories, behavioral implants. Adrian vanished, but his reach remained. Luna's descent into madness wasn't spontaneous. It was engineered. Now someone had activated her. It wasn't just personal revenge, it was strategic. Finn was devastated. Everything he thought he knew about Luna shattered. He dove into Poppy's medical archives, desperate to understand what had been done. He found redacted files, erased data, and one chilling entry from Poppy herself. Asterisk subject L13 exhibits unstable response to trauma cues. Monitor closely. If psychotic fracture occurs, initiate protocol lockdown. Asterisk, but there was no protocol now. Just chaos. And Luna? She was slipping further. Hidden in a borrowed identity, she was now in Arizona, waiting. Watching. Preparing her next move. She had no remorse, only rage. In her fractured mind, Steffy represented everything stolen from her: a perfect family, wealth, love, respect. Everything Luna believed should have been hers. And now she would burn it all down. She forged alliances with underground players, tech mercs, grifters, even former Forrester rivals. She used her charm, her beauty, her brilliant madness to rally them. She wasn't just coming for Steffy. She was coming for the entire Forrester legacy. Back in LA, Steffy finally got her first real break. One of the AI drones flagged a heat signature on the estate grounds 3 nights earlier, too brief to trigger alarms, but too human to ignore. An infrared image captured it. Same silhouette, same frame, same pattern. The ghost had returned. She turned to Victor Marsek. "I need to find him." Marsek nodded. "He's using Cold War tradecraft. No electronics. No footprint. But we may have a window." Within 48 hours, Marsek traced a purchase to a black market arms dealer in Culver City. An encrypted message had been intercepted. Coordinates. A meet. Steffy decided to go. Against every warning. She needed answers, and she was done waiting. She arrived at the warehouse alone, wired, armed, but vulnerable. The air was thick with dust. Broken crates. Silence. Then footsteps. He stepped from the shadows, tall, lean, mid-40s, a scar just below the ear. Eyes like iron. "You shouldn't have come," he said. "You've been in my home." "Twice," Steffy replied. "I think I've earned a conversation." He studied her. "You don't understand what you're involved in. Make me understand." A pause. Then, finally, "My name is Anton Barek. I worked with Ridge in Prague. I'm a fixer. I clean up the messes no one wants to admit exist. Why save me?" He hesitated. "Then, because I owed your father. And because I know who Luna is really working for." That stopped her cold. "Adrian Chu is alive," Anton continued. "And he's building something off the grid. He's assembling damaged mines he once experimented on. He calls them the Clean Slate Initiative. Luna was his prototype." Steffy's breath caught. "Why me?" "Because Adrian blames your family. Ridge shut down a key investor. That decision buried Adrian's project. Now he wants revenge, not just personal, but legacy level. He wants to erase Forrester from history." Steffy clenched her jaw. "Then let's give him a war." Anton's expression didn't change, but something in his eyes approved. From that point, they worked together quietly. Anton supplied intel. Steffy built the plan. They uncovered Adrian's next move. He was planning a cyber attack to wipe Forrester's financial holdings, destroy its IP, expose internal scandals, and crash its global reputation. And Luna would be the distraction. Another strike at Steffy, this time in front of the world, at the upcoming Forrester Spring Gala. It was bait. But Steffy didn't flinch. She called in everyone. Ridge, Brooke, Carter, Eric, from his hospital bed, gave his blessing to do whatever it took. Even Sheila was brought into the loop, under tight control, her insider instincts too valuable to ignore. The gala arrived. The room glimmered with crystals, but tension pulsed beneath the glamour. Then the lights cut. A scream. Gunshots. And Luna stepped onto the stage in a black gown, holding a detonator in one hand, a pistol in the other. "Tonight," she whispered into the mic, "the Forrester name dies." But she didn't see Anton coming from behind. In a flash, the detonator was gone. The gun clattered to the floor. Security swarmed. It was over. But not really. Adrian hadn't shown. He'd let Luna fall as a pawn. He was still out there. Watching. Planning. Luna was arrested, but in court, she refused to speak. Her final words before being dragged from the courtroom: "You stopped me, but you'll never stop him." The Forrester family had survived, barely. But Steffy knew. This wasn't the end. This was chapter 1.